everybody. James Simmers, Culinary Arts Instructor from Marine Park Technical College. Everyone's got a little extra time in their hands these days. What better opportunity to learn how to cook like a chef? And that's what I'm talking about today. We're going to start with learning how to cut like a chef, using a knife like a chef. I have a couple of my favorite knives here. I have my Santoku, and this is actually more for cutting vegetables, chopping, things like that. Most things you're probably going to do around the house. We also have the chef's knife, or also known as a French knife. A lot of people have these in their kitchens. Does almost everything this does, and actually a little bit more, a little bit easier to cut meats and things like that. But when you're cutting, and if you want to learn how to cut really fast in that, eventually, this is where you start. Sometimes you have to go back a little bit just to make it work better in the future. You know, the old one step back, two steps forward type of a thing. So it might feel awkward at first, but after a while, you're gonna get really used to it. First off, we need to hold the knife properly. If you're left-handed, sometimes I say right hand, just switch that over, but your dominant hand right here is what I'm talking about. We're gonna take our index finger, we're gonna take our thumb, we're gonna put that right in front of the handle like that, okay? We're gonna take our other three fingers, we're gonna wrap it around. This puts you almost at the center of the knife, not quite, but almost as much as you can, up on the blade a little bit, which gives you a lot of control. One thing I never like to see is this, you know, where you have the index finger across the top of the knife. We talked to that about with students about that quite a bit, actually. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use our left hand, or a non-dominant hand, and we're gonna make like a claw out of it. And we're gonna take the knife, when we get down here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this knife, we're gonna put it right up against our knuckle, and we're gonna make sure that it touches there, and there's a reason for that. We will always know where our blade is, even without looking. And we can move this slightly in increments to get even-sized pieces. So it really comes in quite handy. I'm using just a stalk of celery. It's one of the easiest things to start learning when you're learning how to cut. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do a straight slice of these. I'm gonna have my left hand, my non-dominant hand, like this. And I know you can't see with this camera, and I don't have a cameraman right now, so it doesn't really help, but I'm touching the blade to here. It's really uncomfortable for people sometimes, but if you start like that, eventually it becomes second nature. And you won't cut yourself because you just never bring the blade up above that knuckle, okay? We can even do the rock and roll, or we can do the chop, but we're gonna start with what's called the rock and roll. These knives are shaped to be able to go like this, okay? And that's exactly what we're gonna do here. So we're gonna take this, and very slowly to start, we're just gonna move forward, and we're just rocking that knife with one smooth motion all the way across, okay? Like that, all right? And you'll get nice even-sized pieces. Looks nice, it'll look nicer in a dish that way if they're not all chopped up in weird pieces, sizes. If you want, you even do what's called a bias cut. We're gonna take that same middle finger always, no matter what we're cutting, and we're just gonna cut it like that, okay? This looks a little bit nicer, looks a little bit more, you know, like something you might see in a stir fry or something like that. Also, what I wanna do today, look at that, I just knocked it right out of the camera. Look, no more garbage, oh wait. There we go. All right, another thing I want to do is really quickly is we're going to show you how to do an onion. We're going to cut the sides off. This is probably the fastest way to peel an onion. We're simply going to take the knife and just cut through the skin a little bit. Then what will happen is the whole thing just peels right off like so. Okay? We're going to cut that in half, still using the same. Always have it touching, always hold your knife right, because that'll make it a habit. Okay? And then, in order to make a nice even dice of onion, we're going to cut down slightly, like that. And what I did was I cut almost all the way through, down this way, okay? I'm gonna take it, put it like this, and again, just do lines right straight down, like so. And again, using that knuckle, slowly. If it's a bigger onion, it's hard to do the rock and roll, so you'll come up from the top and go down like that. If it's a smaller onion, you can do it. This one's just kind of right in between there, and you get a nice, even dice. It's that simple. Unfortunately, we all got plenty of time to practice. So have fun, stay healthy, and we'll see you very soon.